Aye, for real, guys, I'm not gonna lie, I might need an Mbappe mask right now. Mbappe himself's gonna be gutted when he sees me nabbing his look, but he's gonna be probably a little bit more annoyed when he sees Argentina celebrations on their team bus after winning Copa America. Now, if you've been living under a rock or on a rock that isn't the south of the Americas, then you won't have realized that Argentina beat Colombia 1-0 in the final of Copa America. Colombia going into the tournament and throughout it had a sensational time. James Rodriguez had returned to his prime form. They were on an unbelievable, unbeaten run, but obviously Argentina, having just won the World Cup in 2022, always going to be the favourites, and a goal from Lautaro Martinez in extra time won it for them. Now, that was all well and good. It was a second Copa America for Lionel Messi, who's suddenly won a ridiculous amount of accolades for his country, but it's been completely overshadowed by the celebrations and an incident afterwards. As I said, after the game, the players are sat on a team bus, they're chanting, and suddenly Enzo Fernandez whips out his phone and decides that now is the best time to, I think, go live or start filming. So the Argentina players start chanting about the France squad. It's obviously in Spanish, but when it is translated back, the translation is well, it's pretty rough. Basically, to translate it, it says, listen, spread the word, they play in France, but they're all from Angola. They are gonna run well, they like to sleep with trans people. Don't know why that was necessary. Their mum is Nigerian, their dad is Cameroonian, but on the passport, it says French. This is in reference to the fact that a decent amount of the French squad are black or of African background. And it's also aimed at Kylian Mbappe because of rumors about one of his partners from a while ago. It's a long chant about the French national squad, which has caused a lot of outrage, it's fair to say. It's Enzo Fernandez leading the chant, and it's in terrible quality, so it's kind of hard to pick out a lot of the people involved. But either way, the president of French football, who's called Philippe Diallo, so have a funny feeling he's probably offended by this as well, given his name. He's basically taken them to court. He said that he's going to take Argentina to court over the situation. As I said, it was seemingly targeted at Kylian Mbappe, but also his teammates have stepped in to intervene. And the wild thing about this as well, by the way, yeah, Enzo Fernandez is actually just like outright an idiot. We'll get on to what else he is later on in the video, but you've got 5 players who are from France and are black playing for Chelsea, bro. What are you even thinking? These are your teammates, man. It's the likes of Axel Disasi, Malo Gusto, Nkunku. One who's given him a lot of flack on social media is Wesley Fofana, who's quite outspoken anyway on socials, or it seems like he is anyway. They've all unfollowed him on Instagram, and he actually posted, or Wesley Fofana did posted on to Twitter and on Instagram with a caption saying, football in 2024, uninhibited racism. One of the things, and I know this is not like the main thing here. Well, again, I'm going to talk about this more seriously in a second, right? But one thing I genuinely don't understand is why, after winning Copa America, Argentina are chanting about European nation France and their immigration situation. Why would you? I don't understand. It's bizarre. Imagine Spain, like when they won the Euros, just started like saying fuck South Korea. Like, why? I don't understand why there's any need to do that. Obviously, the racism itself is not random. Argentina don't got a great track record for this stuff, I'm not gonna lie. If you do want to do some reading into the indigenous black population that used to live in Argentina, then feel free to do so, but spoiler alert, they're not about anymore. So I think you can probably assume how that situation went in Argentina. It's long, deep-rooted, as it is in a lot of countries as well, not just Argentina. I'm not just singling them out here, but it is definitely a serious issue. But it just seems to be bizarre. Kylian Mbappe must have been confused reading this on Twitter, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm like, what did he say fuck me for?
And Jules Koundé as well, by the way, is someone else that was outspoken. Wesley Fofana obviously is Enzo Fernandez's teammates. That's why I think it's a bit more of like a massive deal that he's outwardly speaking out about it, outwardly posting videos on the topic. And I don't think he'll want to be around that football club for much longer, honestly, at this rate. Now, Enzo Fernandez has released a apology. He put it onto Instagram and then it got shared a lot onto Twitter as well. It's a very manufactured thing, basically. Hits like all the bullet points of, oh, this doesn't, you know, translate to my behavior or my actual beliefs, and I was in the moment or whatever. First of all, he's written it in Comic Sans, so he didn't mean it whatsoever. To paraphrase it and like boil it down, basically the only excuse that he gives for actually doing it and the accountability that he has for doing it is that they were celebrating and just kind of lost in the moment at the time. Being extremely happy is not an excuse to be racist, so maybe if you'd done it in Times New Roman, I'd be able to, you know, forgive him a little bit more, but it looks like his kids just stuck it on the fridge. So footballers are not stupid, by the way, okay? I know there's a stigma. They're not more stupid than the average man, okay? Enzo Fernandez and the rest of this Argentina squad, they know what they're chanting. They're not even drunk or anything at this point. They are stone cold sober. They're just on the way back from the game. They've gone live on Instagram and they feel comfortable enough to chant about that sort of topic. Accountability's got to be be taken. They're not just drunk fans at a game or whatever. These are actual professionals. These are, I don't know, well, role models as well, whether you like it or not, I guess. But professionals and also teammates to some of the people that they're actually chanting and talking about. Also, by the way, if you are maybe like confused about, like, I know the overarching reaction that I've seen, by the way, on social media is very understanding of why this is racially motivated, but just for those that don't necessarily know why, it is basically just saying that people of African descent that happen to also be French aren't French, pretty much. I think it's a very reasonable way of thinking about things, especially when you consider the history of France and going over to Africa and fucking up multiple countries in the area, which is why you then see certain levels of immigration back to France, back to like the promised land in terms of opportunities, because those opportunities don't exist in Western Africa as much as they should have done if all of the actual resources and financial acumen weren't scraped out of Africa by the likes of England and France predominantly. Western countries fuck up a lot of these other nations a lot, and that's why there's no opportunities there, there's no finances, there's no money for them. They have to move to somewhere more affluent in the first place. It's your ancestors' fault, lads, alright? I'm not gonna lie, we didn't do anything, get me? So yeah, obviously by saying, yeah, they're all from Angola, your mum's from Cameroon, your dad's from Nigeria, but your passport says French, it's basically like you're labelled as French, but you're not actually, so like, get out of there, do you know what I'm saying? It is also, by the way, which hasn't been talked about a lot by any of the mainstream media outlets, they're obviously focusing on the racism, but it's also an example of transphobia as well, for no real reason, which I think he should also be apologising for, and I don't think he has. I think he just apologised for the chant as a whole. No one else really has specified that too, so that's also not okay. But I did mention his teammates, obviously, yep, some of them have come out and openly spoken about him, a lot of them have unfollowed him, but Nico Jackson was actually the first person to come out and support him with a picture of him and Enzo in training, and then also with a picture or like a video of Enzo like being nice to like a young black kid, which is all well and good, Nicholas, but I don't know what you're expecting Enzo to do in that situation. He's not gonna just boot the kid out of the way, innit? You could still be racist and still be nice to like a black child, do you know what I'm saying? So the guy outwardly wants Astrid wet anyway, so I can't trust anything that he does. The WhatsApp group chat, by the way, must be in disarray. Mikhailo Mudrik's probably tried to send 8 ball pool and just been kicked out of there. He'll be distracted in the background when things all kick off in training. Cole Palmer's gonna be absolutely disgusted, by the way, once he's finished playing Connect the Dots in a colour book. And that quarter St. Kitts and Nevis that's gonna come out of him is gonna be scary.
Whole heap of blood clot smoking at the end.
This all happened, by the way, the day after John Terry commented on Enzo Fernandez's Instagram. Coincidence? I think not. He's proper Chelsea, innit? Imagine being poor Enzo Maresca, man, realising his entire dressing room's gone to shit 27 minutes into the job. Now, as I mentioned, it is quite hard to pick out a lot of the other people involved, like the other Argentine players. I know Julian Alvarez was sat next to Enzo Fernandez, but wasn't in shot. Lisandro Martinez is in the background, just about tall enough to see over the sea, but he was on like a video call, I think, at the time, so it is a bit hazy in terms of who else was actually engaging in the chant. I've seen reports saying that Emi Martinez wasn't involved and that Alexis McAllister wasn't either, but again, don't know, it's kind of hearsay. Lionel Messi apparently wasn't even on the bus at all. Let's be real, he was distracted when it took off. He doesn't even know that any of this stuff has happened. But yeah, the long and short of it is that it's completely unacceptable, and I do really think Chelsea, especially with Chelsea's image in the past, need to actually take him to task about this properly. Like, I'm talking potentially a suspension, and I don't even mean this in a mad way. Look at Chelsea's squad, by the way. It is 75% black or mixed or ethnically diverse. Of all the clubs that the Enzo Fernandez could be playing for to do this, it's a pretty bad one. It's very problematic for him, and I feel like when he gets back from the tournament, when he arrives in the dressing room for the first time, it's going to be very, very bad for Chelsea all round. Welcome back to 10th place, guys. But also, I think it's extremely important not to underestimate the actual understanding of footballers when it comes to social and like historical issues as well. You know, not all footballers are stupid, not all footballers don't know anything that they're saying. They do. Like, it's a very direct chant, all right? I know it's translated or whatever, but when you translate it and break it down, it's not hidden meanings or anything. It's quite literally saying that anyone who's in the French national team who's black is just African and not French. It's just their passport that says it. It's literally the lyrics, okay? This is not difficult to understand. They know what they're doing, they know what they're chanting, and that needs to be remembered and understood It's not just a situation of, oh, silly Enzo Fernandez, he just took a chant that fans were singing and didn't realize the hidden meaning in translation behind it. Also, shouldn't just be, it's anyone who was present in that bus who was chanting it as well. It's not just Enzo Fernandez, there's some other big names involved that need to be taken to task as well. It's gonna make multiple members of multiple squads extremely uncomfortable when this Argentine squad disperses again and goes back to their domestic teams. Board members, coaching staff at Chelsea need to make a serious decision because there's a mutiny going on, bruv. You got guys openly chatting about their teammates on Insta, calling them racists, bro. This isn't gonna just go away immediately. Wesley Fofana isn't gonna have a sit-down conversation with Enzo Fernandez for 20 minutes and be all right with him again afterwards. You know, Enzo Fernandez can say as much as he likes that the chanting doesn't reflect his overall opinions and his ideologies and stuff, but look, listen, like, I don't know what the guy's like behind closed doors, but the one thing that I have seen up on him of this topic is that he is. Like, that's all we can judge it on. In terms of reception around the world, it's just made them look like a really unlikable squad, even more than they were already. What do you make of it, though? As I said, you know, can Chelsea recover from this? Will Enzo Fernandez have to be moved on even? You know, I didn't spoke about him potentially getting suspended, but the dressing room is getting torn apart and he's the reason for that. Then you might have to get him out of there. You know, we've seen that cohesion is so important for that Chelsea squad. When it's not there, they are bad. When it is there, they pick it up a little bit towards the end of the season under Pochettino. I don't know. We'll see what the aftermath is, but if you enjoyed this video, of course, you know, I guess you can feel free to like and subscribe. It was, again, a bit more of a serious one, so I don't usually ask for that sort of thing in those videos. But yeah, either way, it's been a pleasure ranting at you today. Yeah, Chelsea are in the bin, lads, in a bit.